I want to tell you about the most emotionally moving movie that I've seen this year. I want to tell you about My Dead Friend Zoe. First, I need to tell you what it is and why I almost didn't watch it and certainly didn't think I would like it. Um, this is a movie about veterans of recent wars and the effect it has on them psychologically. Now, I thought this might end up being a military propaganda piece because those happen a lot. Um, but it isn't that. This isn't about the armies or the governments or even the wars. It's about the soldiers and what it's like when they come home. Directed and co-written by Kyle Hausmann-Stokes, this was a movie both about his own experiences as a veteran, people that he knew who aren't around anymore, and about his own family, which he originally told through a independently funded short film, Merit Zoe. As the title suggests, it follows two women who are veterans of war and what it means to them. And spoilers, based on the title of the larger budget movie, one of them isn't around. While I haven't had the chance to watch the original short film, I did get to watch the new movie, and in both versions, Hosman Stokes hires actual veterans to play the veterans at support groups and in the actual field. Now, if you had told me that this was a movie by veterans for veterans, I probably wouldn't have watched it. I mean, I don't really apply to that group. It's not something that is high on top of my mind, I'll admit. But the depths of which this movie goes, okay, it's presented as kind of a dramedy. It's funny, all right? There were a lot of parts I laughed at, but my Lord, there was not a single dry eye in the house when I saw this at South by Southwest. And that's the only reason I went to go see My Dead Friend Zoe. I probably wouldn't have seen it if I wasn't already watching a bunch of films at South by. And of course, being at the event meant I could actually hear the director and the stars, Nico Martin Green and Natalie Morales, talk about the film. As much as it moved me watching it, I would not have realized how personal it was for the director had I not heard him talk about it on stage. And speaking of the cast, they're all amazing. I already mentioned, obviously, the veterans who have small background roles and the amazing lead actors, but there's also Utkar Shambhutkar, who is just wonderful in this film, and Gloria Rubin, who is very powerful. But I think the main reason they were able to get such a great cast because of the first person that the director was able to get on board for the film, Ed Harris. Yeah, this is, by the way, the only still I can find online of the movie because they still haven't found a distributor yet. I actually had planned to do a review this week because I thought it was getting at least a limited release, but I don't know where or if that's happening. One of my favorite actors for a long time, Harris plays the main character's grandfather, based on the director's own grandfather, so that's personal there. Apparently, he actually wrote a letter to Ed Harris saying what his goals were in making this film, and Harris said he wanted to be a part of it. I have to imagine that after that, producers and other actors lined up saying, yeah, if he wants to be in this movie, we want to be in it too. And the film is gorgeous. Although very low budget, it has some amazing actors in it. Did I mention Morgan Freeman has a very key role? Um, but I don't want to get into too many of the plot details. I want to give a trigger warning for a very powerful and upsetting thing that is covered, but that's kind of the point of the film, and it's also kind of a big reveal. So I will just say that this is an emotionally disturbing movie, but also a very important one. And I hope it gets distributed. I can't stress enough that this is not the kind of film that I would normally watch, much less endorse, but this is about the human element and not the job. And so I think that's something that needs addressed, especially given the main message of the movie, which again, I don't want to spoil. That being said, I do think that once this movie gets distributed, people need to watch it.